The Router protocol has been one of my favorite altcoin projects since 2022. However, it has only been over the last quarter of 2023 that the price has exploded due to some recent updates. Interoperability is one of those narratives that isn't that flashy, it's not that tangible, yet with the number of disconnected blockchains and liquidity in the industry, it is an absolute must for layer 1s and blockchain apps to consider. Unfortunately, it's often not. Therefore, there can often be the need for dedicated interoperability solutions, and that is what this altcoin project aims to provide. The Router protocol is aiming to become the standard for cross-chain interoperability, but I want to find out whether this low market cap interoperability project should make it onto an altcoin shortlist. Therefore, as always, to analyze this project as accurately as possible, I've been through Router Protocol's latest white paper, its website, community forums, socials, uncovered its history and its tokenomics to save you hours of time in your decision on whether to place your investment capital into this project. All that I ask for in return is that you hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. With all of that being said, let's see if the Router protocol can stack up. So we know the Router protocol was developed for interoperability, but what is the protocol's mission statement? Why was the Router protocol developed? Well, according to their about page, the protocol wants to onboard the next 1 billion users into the blockchain ecosystem. Pretty big ambitions, and it wants to do this by removing the interchain barriers that can stop communities from collaborating. The future, as Router Protocol puts it, is multi-chain, so chains need to be able to communicate seamlessly. Users need to be able to swap from layer 1s to other layer 1s, or from layer 1s to layer 2s, whatever the transaction happens to be, but it needs to happen in just a couple of clicks, not with these over 30 click transactions, and it shouldn't cost ridiculous fees to do that either. And I think this is incredibly true. I think one of the main reasons we haven't seen wider adoption is because the industry is just so fragmented. So this project wants to help join disconnected users and liquidity that make up the current blockchain ecosystem. So the idea, in my opinion, is sound, but to truly understand how this project plans to go about this, we need to take a look at the technology that the Router protocol is leveraging. How does it plan on dropping those barriers between these different blockchain ecosystems? Well, at the heart of the Router protocol sits the Router chain, and this is a layer 1 proof of stake blockchain that was developed using the Cosmos software development kit. So this is a project that fits within the Cosmos ecosystem, which means that anything built on top of Router becomes instantly interoperable with a number of Cosmos layer 1 ecosystems. Just like any other proof of stake blockchain, the network is operated by a network of validators. However, unlike other proof of stake layer 1 blockchains, alongside keeping tabs on the state of the Router blockchain, validators in the Router protocol also keep an eye on the state of other blockchains. And this occurs thanks to something called the super mesh modular network. Unlike traditional cross-chain protocols that rely on one-to-one bridges, the Router protocol relies on this super mesh network which connects all blockchains via the same set of Router nodes. The nodes are allowed to listen to and write transactions to all of the blockchains that are part of that super mesh network. As long as the relevant blockchain configuration can be pushed to all of the Router nodes, any blockchain can join the super mesh system. So once a blockchain ecosystem is connected to this super mesh, users can begin transferring funds seamlessly from other blockchain networks. In addition to the ease with which different blockchains can be added, the Router protocol also offers middleware contract support so that developers have the flexibility to create custom smart contracts that help make the transfer of assets or data seamless. So with all of this interoperable technology flying around, what can you do with the Router protocol? Well, based on my understanding, the Router protocol allows for secure, scalable, and decentralized communication between smart contracts on one blockchain and smart contracts on any other blockchain. This means that all dApps, decentralized applications built on the Router protocol, can leverage this architecture, and in Router's ecosystem, these are referred to as IDApps. And speaking of IDApps, this is a brilliant time to bring in a couple of Router protocol's most recent updates. The first update that I want to share with you is that the Router chain will soon be moving from testnet to mainnet. So anything moving from testnet to mainnet is a massive, massive upgrade, and we need to take note of it. So the testing is now over. The blockchain is nearly good to go, which could arguably encourage more people to begin leveraging this ecosystem in the near future. Secondly, in January of 2024, the Router protocol is planning to launch an IDApp called Nitro, and this is a blockchain bridge powered by Router that aims to be the gateway to seamless blockchain swaps and transactions. Finally, the Router protocol has just released its cross-chain intent framework, so CCIF. And this is a framework that it wants to implement whereby a user will be able to provide a statement such as stake my USDC, which is then automatically translated into executable cross-chain workflows which are optimized for speed, cost, and also reliability. And I believe it's these three catalysts that have been driving the price of the associated coin, Root, way higher over the last 3 months. So now we are more aware of how the Router protocol functions and what the latest updates have been. We also need to understand where the project has come from. Is it new? Is it old? What is its history? Well, the Router protocol was initially founded back in 2020, and its testnet wasn't launched until 2022. So it remains a relatively young project, certainly not one that was fully up and operational during the altcoin season of 2021. It was founded by Ramani Ramachandran, who is also the founder of DFIN Exchange. According to reports, the entire team has been doxxed, and based on what I've seen and what I've read, there appears to be positive statements and sentiments that this team is not here to cut and run quickly. They have been building continuously throughout the bear market, and they are here to stick it through, which is great to see. And this is perhaps best reflected in the top tier list of investors backing this project. So we've got the likes of Coinbase Ventures, QCP Capital, DeFi Capital, MapleBlock, Wintermute, Polygon, Woodstock, Shima Capital, and CoinDCX. Not a bad lineup for a relatively young project. In addition to a promising team and a promising list of investors, I also noticed that the Router team does an incredible job at keeping their community informed of updates. There are weekly blog updates, fortnightly updates for developers, and a constant stream of tweets to keep investors up to date on what is going on with this protocol. So this continues to look relatively strong for the Router protocol, but before we make a final call on this project, we of course need to take a look over the coin's tokenomics. It doesn't matter how good the fundamentals are, if the tokenomics don't align, the chances of returning a good investment just significantly drop. So let's see what the Root coin has to offer. So, as we've just mentioned, Root is the associated coin of this project, and the price of Root currently stands at $6.48 at the time of shooting this video. Now, the market cap of the token sits just under $100 million, which places it in the micro-cap category of cryptocurrencies, and the maximum supply of all coins is capped at 20 million, with just under 72% of those already in circulation. So future dilution for this coin shouldn't be too much of a problem. Comparing the market cap and the price charts, we can see that the dilution over the last couple of years has sustained price increases. Despite the market cap being at all-time high levels right now, we are not yet seeing all-time high prices for this coin, and that will be due to the inflation over the years. However, the worst of the inflation is now behind this project. So that's the supply side of the Root coin, but what about the demand side? Well, Root is the utility token of the ecosystem. Instead of requiring independent gas fee tokens for each of the blockchain ecosystems that's involved in a particular swap that takes place on Router protocol, the Root coin can be used as the unified gas token for all transfers. Therefore, just like any other gas fee coin, the more demand there is for the network, the more demand there will be for Root. Alongside gas fees though, the Root coin can also be used for staking. Now, like all good reviews, we also need to take into account the key risks that would come with an investment in this project. And for me, there are two clear reasons why anyone should be slightly cautious. One of the biggest risks for the Router protocol is that there are already several big competitors in the interoperability niche. The popular names of Thorchain and Quant spring to mind. This means that the Router protocol has a fierce fight ahead. If another protocol becomes the go-to for cross-chain transactions, the Router protocol could easily become redundant. The second is then on-chain activity. The number of transactions that are currently taking place on the network is relatively low, which would suggest adoption so far hasn't been strong. TVL locked in the ecosystem has also dropped consistently since 2022. Are we at a bottom here for TVL and it's now beginning to climb? Perhaps, but that is not clear from this chart at the moment. And so with those key risks in our minds, we come to the all-important question, should Root make it onto your altcoin shortlist? And as always, this decision will be unique to each and every one of you, depending on your risk tolerances and personal situations. In no way, shape or form is any of this financial advice. But for me personally, I have liked the Router protocol for a long time. I think it offers elements from both the already successful Thorchain in regard to its swapping mechanisms and also Quant in regard to its decentralized application ecosystem. And because it isn't large, it still has a lot of upside potential if things go well. However, this is a high risk play. The number of transactions taking place on the network is still very low, as we've just covered. There's no two ways around that. And the TVL is still too low as well. But getting in before the number of transactions is high, that is the risk that could be taken here. If you see transactions increasing on the network, it may already have become too late to get involved in the root coin. Finally, another aspect to consider is that the root coin has increased by over 300% during the last 3 months. So could it be worth waiting for a pullback to buy root at better prices? Remember, it was back down at $1.97 only in October of 2023. Better buying opportunities might exist in the future, but I do think the Root protocol has some legs for the future. If you have enjoyed this video and you want more detailed insights on all things crypto, I would love to have you as a subscriber on my 80/20 crypto newsletter. There I share all of my thoughts on the altcoins that you should be following and also the altcoins that you should be avoiding, which is just as important. Like the Root protocol, I have ambitions to onboard the next 1 million users into the crypto space in a safe way. And it would be amazing to have you on that journey with me. As always, don't put more money into a cryptocurrency than you could afford to lose. Crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme and should be considered alongside a variety of other assets. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.